Jay here, Stretford Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. You know the drill by now. As you can see, I'm in the studio, which means it's live, which means you lot have got to get involved in the comments and the chat and let us know what you think about all the latest Manchester United news. And if you've got any United news, if you're a bit ITK, then let us know what's going down. We're going to be talking about Jurrien Timber. It looks like there could be a little bit of movement here. We've also got an announcement regarding a pre-season friendly. There's also another Milinkovic-Savic story doing the rounds. It feels like it's 2018 all over again. I keep saying that because in 2018 we were linked with him quite heavily, and those stories are coming back round again. And there's a Paul Pogba story, and this is we're scraping here, by the way, with this story, but I'll tell you about it a little bit anyway. So make sure you're getting involved and let us know what you think about these stories and anything else. Right, let's get into it. First things first, obviously. Manchester United have announced another pre-season date. It's the 30th of July, and it's in Norway, and it's against Atletico Madrid. So there's a friendly at the Ullevål Stadium in Oslo, and it's exactly 3 years to the day since we last played there, according to the Manchester United website. We'll be down there as well, so if you are about there, give us a shout. Looking forward to that one. Love the Scandinavian fans, love the Norwegian fans, the proper passionate. You know that's going to be a great atmosphere, and Atletico Madrid, decent level of opposition as well, so we can see what Erik Ten Hag and his boys are all about. This is obviously going to be after the pre-season tour of Australia and Thailand as well, so it's a good little added-on extra, shall we say, in Norway, and gives the Scandinavian and Norwegian fans a chance to see Manchester United in the flesh, which is always a good thing. I know a lot of them travel over here anyway, but it's always better when you can sort of see them in your hometown. And I'm looking forward to that one. And like I said earlier, a decent standard of opposition, and hopefully we'll have some new signings to speak about by the time that one comes around. One of those new signings may well be Milinkovic-Savic. Now, I'll go into this one because we've been linked with Jurrien Milinkovic-Savic from Lazio for about 4 or 5 years. There was a time when it looked like something was going to happen. I remember chatting to Bojan Djordjic over in Norway, actually. We was over in Norway together, and he was raving about the kid. He was saying, this guy is just what you need. He can play sort of like anywhere in midfield. He's got the right attitude. He's got the ability. He's got everything. And then this was just before the World Cup. And the World Cup happened, and he was a little bit underwhelming. I'm not going to lie. It didn't really happen for him, for Serbia. If I'm being kind, he did okay. He didn't really do a lot. Now, I'm not a massive fan of judging people just off international football. I think it's a deeply flawed way of scouting players, because you can have a great international tournament where you've played well against Panama, Tunisia, and a weakened Colombia side or whatever. Now, I'm not pointing fingers at anyone. That's not a dig at Harry Maguire or anyone else for that matter. But it doesn't give you an indication of a player's ability just on international football, because it can be a bit of an outlier at times. You might not be playing against elite footballers in every game. So you might get to the last stages where you are playing against a France or an Italy or a Spain where you have got top draw players. But it's always a little bit of a strange one, because we've done it in the past at Manchester United. Remember when we bought Karol Poborski off the back of the Euros, and it didn't quite happen for him. And I remember him scoring a bit of a wonder goal in the Euros in 1996. So you just got to be mindful a little bit. But anyway, whether that was the reason or not, I don't know. It just didn't happen. And now it seems like it's come back round again. Now, I think this has come from one of the Italian publications. And they're saying that United could be interested in an offer worth around 55 million euros. I'd file this under doubtful. I feel like with Milinkovic-Savic, get my words out, the time that was going to happen has been and gone. I mean, he's 27, so he's not a kid, but he's not past it or anything. Obviously, his best years are ahead of him. But I just don't know. I just wonder whether if it was going to happen, it would have happened by now. I'm just having a look now. He's been at Lazio for 7 seasons. He's played 30 games for Serbia as well, so he's pretty much a seasoned pro. And I just wonder whether that sort of time, if you go back to 2018, and also in 2017, 2018, he had a very productive season in terms of goals. He got 12 goals as well in Serie A. Whether maybe that was the time for him to move to Manchester United, I'm not so sure. Maybe it just feels like this isn't going to happen. But you never know. Never say never. I'll get into some of the comments. Joel Lewis says, rather spend the money on De Jong. I don't see us getting both. I think that's a pretty fair comment. Music Ali says, Savic, isn't he like 31? Yeah, but obviously, I've just said he's 27. Dale Gibson says, "Morning, Jay. I didn't realise how much the Scousers depressing me. Potentially winning the quadruple, it was depressing me until Sunday night. The relief is palpable. I feel that relief, bro. I know exactly what you mean." Andy Rock says, "Morning, Jay. Thank you for all the morning updates. Always makes my day. Much appreciated." Andrew Rafferty, "Yes, Jay." Callum McCallum says, "Big Daddy Jay." Music Ali also says, "Hello, Jay. Looking good today. Head looks extra shiny. Yeah. Yes, I've buffed it up special, as I often do." So, yeah, Milinkovic-Savic, let us know what you think about that one. I feel like it's a bit of a non-starter, personally. He is a decent player. Could he come into Manchester United's midfield and improve us? Probably, yeah. But I think we have to be careful here, because there's always this temptation when you're looking at a player, or you're looking at a team that's struggling, like we have done for the last sort of 4 or 5 months, and go, well, anyone's an improvement on what we've got in a minute. You need to just do better than what you've got. You need to get players in who could help push eventually towards a title challenge. Now, you can look at him and go, well, Milinkovic-Savic, he can play all over. He can play in that holding role. And that's what you need. But that's probably not his best role. He's probably a bit more of an 8 rather than a 6, I think. I mean, he has played almost anywhere. So it's like, okay, can you put him in the 6? Is that going to be his role? Or is he just going to be another type of player, like similar to what De Jong would be if he came, or to what Pogba is? I know he's going to leave at the minute. So it just doesn't feel quite like the ideal player that we need, if there is such a thing. But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and keep you posted as well. And let us know in the comments if you've watched a lot of him, if you think that he's exactly what we need. Callum Halley says, "I've never watched him in the number 8. He's played all over, hasn't he? From what I've seen, I remember seeing him for Lazio. He looked like he was box to box. I mean, I'm not going to pretend that I've watched loads of him, because I haven't. But whenever I've seen him, he seems to be got back around the pitch quite a lot. But again, let me know what you think. Do you think he is the answer? Be good enough, and see fits in the role that we need? Because at the minute, I keep saying this on all the videos, and forgive me if I'm boring everyone, but I just want someone who can definitely play in that DM role. Is that him? Do you really feel it is? I'm not so sure, but you may know a bit about him. Ed C says he's a 6/8. Hoping we can mould Garner into playing a similar way. Yep. J Hens Hall Coates says, "Go watch Slavic highlights versus Inter. Loses the ball about 10 times. Looks like Pogba on a bad day." I mean, yeah, I think someone else is saying, James Wood says, also, I wonder if that's the actor, says, "I'd rather get De Jong." It does feel like it would be one of the other, done it with him and De Jong, perhaps. Who knows, maybe we could get 2, but I do feel like more likely is we get one or the other. And De Jong at the minute looks like the more likely of the 2, but you never know with Manchester United, do you? So we'll keep you posted as always. Should we talk about Jurrien Timber? Now, this one has been doing the rounds for a little while, and it looks like there could be a bit of movement here. I saw this on Sky on their paper talk this morning. They were saying that Manchester United are on the brink of signing Jurrien Timber for 30 million on the orders of Erik Ten Hag. I think a couple of papers have reported this. So there may be a little bit of movement here from this one, where it's edging closer. Me and Joe were talking about on Paddock Live last night. Timber seems a doable transfer, and he seems to fit the bill in a multitude of ways. He's young. I think he's 21. I think he is. He's versatile in the 20. Yeah, he's 20. He can play at right back or centre back. We do need someone who can play at right back. I know we've got Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but there's question marks on both of those players. People may go, well, you've got Brandon Williams can play at right back. You've got even Laird maybe, but again, there's lots of question marks overall. Our fullbacks, I feel, even at left back as well. So maybe he fits the bill of someone who can come in and be slightly versatile. At the age of 20 as well, he's hopefully he can kick on and progress. He's already had a very good start to his career. Helped Ajax win 2. I think he's been involved in 2 titles and a cup win there. So it would make sense. Obviously, Erik Ten Hag knows him, and the money being spoken about isn't extortionate. It's, you're talking about, 30 million quid? I mean, if United are going to get anyone this summer, the minimum is going to be around 30 million. It's probably going to be a little bit more from those players, isn't it? So I wouldn't mind this transfer. I know that doesn't sound like the most emphatic sort of backing of it, but I think 30 million quid for a young player who's only 20, who's already had some success already, who knows the manager, who can play in 2 positions where we need a bit of strengthening, then maybe that could work. Ranabir Mitra says Timber is for the right back role, Torres is for the centre back. Ryan Matheson says Jared Bowen supposedly off to Newcastle. He's had a very good season, Jared Bowen? From whenever I've seen him, he's looked really good. I mean, he's looked good for a few years though, but I think last season in particular, he did really well there. I'm saying surprised. And Newcastle have got lots of money, haven't they? And West Ham, I think it's always possible to buy players off West Ham. I think they'll be disappointed though to be letting him go because he's been such a good player for them. And they get him for Hull for about, was it 8 million or something, or I don't know, 10 million it might have been. It wasn't a lot anyway. So he's been a bit of a bargain for them and a good player, a real big threat for him. And it looks like he'll be going. Red Rhubarb says Bissouma looks to be going to Spurs or Villa. A few people, mainly last summer, I've not seen it as much this summer, but last summer there was a lot of talk about Bissouma. A lot of people were saying when we were doing the paper talk and when we were doing the transfer review, saying, get Bissouma, look at what he's doing at Brighton. Brighton have had a very good season and he's been part of that midfield trios at Caicedo and Wepu, the other lad as well. They've done really well, and obviously we know about Brighton after the spanking they gave us. But I don't know with Bissouma, it just doesn't feel like there's much happening there. I've not heard many rumours. I'm not mad keen on him. Again, you can fall into that trap of saying, well, he's better than what we've got and he actually fits in a role that we need. But we'll have to wait and see. Can people hit the like button as well, please? We've got almost 1,000 people watching, only 65 likes. Let's get to 200 likes at least. Come on, hit that like button. Joel Lewis says, Villa need to chill out. Yeah, Villa have been linked with quite a few players, haven't they? They've already started buying players as well. Who was it they bought the other day? Was it Kamara, was it? So talk of Villa improving, other teams improving, Newcastle getting players. Manchester United, I mean, Erik Ten Hag's only been here since Monday, so there's no need to get too panicky yet that we haven't signed anyone, but Timber would look like a good first signing for Manchester United. And like I said before, fits a lot of the bill, affordable, young, in a position we need. Why not? Seamus Williams says, re-sign Blind. I think Daley Blind had a decent spell at Manchester United. He didn't set the world alight, but I think he was a pretty solid player for us. And solid players at Manchester United aren't exactly, in sort of, there's a big demand for them, isn't there? Solid players at Manchester United. We've not had many recently, especially not last season. But yeah, I think he's been a little bit tongue in cheek there when he says re-sign Daley Blind. Andy Rock says all real United fans hit the like button. Yeah. Stoffer says, Jay, tell Steve to stop doing scout reports. They all get signed. Yeah, and every time Stephen Houser does a scout report on someone else goes and signs him. Ross Murphy says, Jay Motty, your tweet gone viral about Mourinho. Oh, yeah, this is the tweet about all the trophies. I had a little dig at Spurs there. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Mourinho obviously winning the Europa Conference last night with Roma, so he's actually pretty much had a trophy everywhere he's been for a full season. I think he started off at Benfica and went somewhere else, didn't he, for a few months where he didn't win anything. But every time he's had a full season at a club, he's won the trophies there, whether it's, not every season, but at every club apart from Spurs. So, yeah, he's done it again at Roma. There'll be people going, we shouldn't let him go, and all the rest of it. But listen, it's by the by. It's time to get behind Erik Ten Hag. Let's move on to another story. This is one where, this is just, I know it's not necessarily his fault, but you just get fed up with these Paul Pogba stories, don't you? I mean, they just get sillier and sillier. And even now, there was a picture of him having his haircut. I think it was his barber or something, and he's done a post on Instagram saying, you know what time it is, and then the barbers have done #Pogback. You can see it there with black and white, maybe insinuating that he's going to Juve. I think that the thinking there is that he's told his barber, I'm going back to Juve. So his barber's done that post. I mean, this is a good indication of the sort of ridiculousness we have when it comes to Paul Pogba, doesn't it? It's like Paul Pogba's haircut's probably been analysed and dissected more than some of Paul Pogba's performances. I remember Graham Souness losing his mind once, didn't he, about his Barnet? And it just seems to sum it up, really, that we're still having these conversations and we're still sort of seeing these posts and people, and a few people losing their minds on social media. I think Paul Pogba, the only reason I'm talking about this story is not because I care about what colour his hair is. I just think that regardless of this or anything, he's not going to stay at Manchester United. I think we have to be sort of realistic now. If he was going to stay, I think he would have signed a new deal. There was talk one there, maybe he's going to meet with Ten Hag, maybe there could be something there. I don't see it. Juve, PSG, the two main clubs that have shown interest or been linked with him. He's obviously been at Juve before, and I think we're going to end up in a situation, or we could end up in a situation where we let him go to Juve on a free. We buy him back for 89 million quid, and he goes back there on a free. So it's a bit embarrassing, really. It just shows that where Manchester United have done in terms of business, our business hasn't been well thought out at all, has it, over the last sort of 9 years since Fergie retired. I think a lot of that is down to Ed Woodward. I'm hoping, Andrew Smith says Jay gives a wave, of course. I'm hoping that we can improve now under Richard Arnold. I don't know a lot about Richard Arnold. Don't know. I know he comes from a banking world, but from what we're seeing from the noises are that he's delegated a lot more of the footballing side of things to people who know about football, which seems like a step in the right direction. We'll wait and see what happens. I think this transfer window is going to indicate to a lot of people just how well run Manchester United are, because we've got Erik Ten Hag in. I think a lot of people like that. He's got his backroom staff in, which makes a lot of sense, like Steve McLaren and Mitchell van der Gaag. Now we have to see how he gets on with transfers, because that's going to be the big sort of telltale sign in it. Transfers this summer are going to be vital, because I think we can all agree that after the 6th place finish we've just had, the 6 consecutive defeats, the absolute beatings we had, not just from the likes of Liverpool, but also from the likes of Watford, Leicester and Brighton, that we need improvements. We need reinforcements. We need some transfers. We're going to lose the likes of Paul Pogba, Edinson Cavani, Nemanja Matic, Jesse Lingard, probably Juan Mata, although there was some talk of maybe him staying. We need reinforcements. We need new signings. So we'll wait and see how that goes this season, or this summer, I should say, because we cannot have another transfer window that's underwhelming. We cannot have a transfer window where we're cutting corners. Don't think we're going to buy 7 or 8 players, which is what a lot of people think we need, myself included. But if we can get at least 3 or 4 good signings in, then maybe we'll have a fighting chance of moving back up that table and getting Manchester United closer to where they need to be. James Wood says, I wish Stretford Paddock ran Manchester United's media department. They would never give me the passwords, bro. They would never let me on anywhere near the passwords to that social media. I think I'd have it for about an hour before they got cancelled and shut down. Kevin Llewellyn says, be glad to see the back of Pogba. Turns up once every 5 months. Keep doing your stuff, Jay. ADHD says, we ain't losing Pogba. Him leaving definitely feels like a gain. Tan and Fias asks, what's the latest news on Greenwood? We haven't got an update. As soon as we hear anything, we'll give you an update. At the moment, there isn't one, though, so there's nothing I can tell you on that front. I think we're going to leave it there. Thanks to everyone who's got involved in the comments. Thanks to everyone. We didn't get there, did we? We didn't get to 200 likes. Go on, hit that like button. We're on 184. Just smash that like button before we go. Come on. Let's get to 200 likes. Callum McCallie says, congratulations on your new job, Jake, doing the ticker tape on the BBC. Yeah, did you see that? Someone put Manchester United is rubbish. I mean, to be honest with you, a lot of people were getting angry at that, but I thought it was actually pretty accurate. We're not exactly great at the minute, are we? Music Ali says, thanks for the update, Jay. Thanks to everyone who's got involved in the comments. Thanks to everyone who hit it like. Thanks for all your support as always. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel. Can we have a subscribe link in the chat as well? If you're not subscribing to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We've got loads of good videos coming up. If you've not seen it already, we had myself, Stephen Alston and Joe Smith outside Old Trafford. We were talking about the media reaction, some of the media reaction to Erik Ten Hag, which was massively OTT. We felt, body language experts and just nonsense like that. We've also got a podcast coming up with the 4 of us. So that's going to be myself, Joe, Adam McCullough, and Stephen Alston. Yeah, it's about time we're all sat in a room together. Don't forget as well, the overlap stuff. We've got the overlap stuff coming up as well later on today. So there's so much going on. Make sure you are hitting. Have we got a link, in the chat? Yeah, but there is a link in the chat for our subscribes. So hit that subscribe button. We want to get to 700,000 subscribers, and with your support, we can do it. We look forward to seeing you in pre-season as well. We're going to be in Australia. We're going to be in Thailand. We're also going to be there in Norway. For the time being, though, this has been the Paper Talk. I've been Jay. Thanks for watching.